In my practice clinically, we set the foundation. We work a lot with, adrenal stress, because the adrenals kind of are the big interplay with that sympathetic nervous system. So a lot of times we see cortisol imbalances or cortisol rhythm issues, usually from HPA axis disruption. So we fix the stress, we fix the diet, really support the hormones. And you mentioned like rhodiola as being one. A big fan of those adaptogens, and that really supports the immune system. I find addressing a lot of stealth gut infections, I tend to prioritize that first, because I know 80% of the immune system's in the gut. So if someone has H. pylori or SIBO or maybe a Giardia infection, I clinically find knocking that down, one, it helps them digest their food better, so they're getting more nutrition from their food. But two, these infections aren't there. They aren't creating gut permeability. They aren't creating as much inflammation. What's your take on gut infections, and how do you sequence addressing gut infections in relation to like Lyme co-infections?
Yeah, it's you're right. A significant portion of the immune system is surrounding the gut because the gut has so many challenges.
Hmm.
We've got so much stuff coming through our gut. We're feeding all of those microbes, and if you're eating bad food, you're feeding bad microbes,
Hmm.
and those
Hmm.
microbes are very active as far as neurotransmitters they produce that affect our system and damage to the colon itself. So you end up with leaky gut, which I did. I did food sensitivity testing when I was in the throes of everything, and I was sensitive to 75% of the
Wow.
foods that I was eating. And it was because, and you see that commonly with leaky gut. So once the gut is
Yep.
damaged, you get proteins that are flooding across. So a lot of times, well, I didn't know whether it was the microbes causing the symptoms or the food sensitivities causing the symptoms. And a lot of times it's both. So yes, addressing that gut dysfunction is really important. Diet is the first step, of course,
Yep.
because what you feed your microbes is so remarkably important. Some people find value with probiotics. I think it's kind of hit or miss.
Hmm.
And I think we're still learning with probiotics. But the thing that I found that addressed those kinds of problems more than anything else with the herbs again, especially herbs like berberine and berberine containing herbs, and others that support the gut. Slippery elm is really good for protecting the gut and allow it to heal. But the other herbs that I mentioned also have some benefits to the gut too. So the herbs tend to suppress the bad microbes, suppress the bad microbes in the gut that are causing the SIBO, suppress Candida. And then if you're getting people on good foods that are cultivating that normal healthy flora, then you'll get there. The struggle for a lot of people though is our standard American diet is so bad, and that's what people have been used to since they were children. It's really hard to move them over to a good diet. It's a very gradual process. So we start out with a pretty strict diet that we use foods that don't typically cause food sensitivities, that cultivate good gut flora, and move people to a better place beyond that.
That's great.